Andy, how you doing?
I'm very well, thanks. How are you guys?
Aye, doing well. Good to be back in your company. One of our kind of informal but really important catch-ups. The proof of the pudding is that we said we'd do this at the start of the season. We said we'd keep supporters up to date, and here we are again. The roller coaster continues.
Absolutely, yeah. There's the Big Dipper up and down, especially in recent weeks. But no, listen, it's been great fun, and we hoped it would be at the start when we embarked on this journey. So it's certainly lived up to the expectations.
I've got a list of questions here, but possibly my first one when I look at it is the most naive of them all, and that is, does the breadth of the role still bring you huge excitement?
Yeah, even more so. I think it just grows as the days and the weeks and the months pass. You know, with every victory, with every disappointment, you know, the hunger just gets greater, and you just want to so desperate to achieve what we set out to do before a ball was kicked, pardon the pun.
Do you feel completely embedded in the role? Was there a bit of kind of alteration required for yourself? Did you seek support for other people who've done kind of similar tasks, or did you just naturally find your own way?
No, a bit of both really. Obviously sort of got friends and peers in the game that I sort of look to for advice, and you know, even just going about our weekly business when you're playing against opposition and speaking with opposition directors, chief exec, you know, in terms of the championship, we've got a WhatsApp group chat, so there's always pretty good communication going on. But I think it's important to learn yourself as well, and learn on the job, and you know, find your own way, find your own feet. So I've done a bit of it all.
Tell us about this cohort that you're part of, the new faces coming in, but also working with long established faces, and you know, we mentioned John Sim in many of our interviews as well. How's that dynamic working?
Very well. You know, again, even the guys that have sort of come in, we're building relationships together. It's not like we've worked together for many years. I think the way the season has gone has helped that. You know, I think we've shared some really joyous moments, and you know, if you just take a look up to that director's box and on a Saturday, and you'll see us all cuddling, and we didn't know each other a few months ago. So no, it's been great. We all bring something to the table. I think I've touched on that previous. I think the dynamic's good in terms of skill set and, you know, outlook in life, I suppose. And yeah, it's all going well.
That shared load kind of strikes me that you're a board of decision makers, comfortable with risk, comfortable with and confident in your own ability. Yeah,
I think so. I think that sums it up pretty well. We like to get things done, and I think that's important. It's good to have measured ideas and thoughts and plans, but it's also good to put some plans into actions at times as well. And I think we've shown that that's who we are as people, and as a collective, as a board, that we like to move forward. And I think at the start of the season it was 100 mile an hour. It's maybe not 100 mile an hour right now, but we're certainly moving forward every day, and it's good. And again, I say it all the time, it fuels that fire.
As somebody who's kind of been around here for a lifetime as a supporter, and then this kind of privileged role I've got here, I always like to watch people coming in and how they make that transition to somebody with huge aspiration, a desire to make their mark, make things better. But the thing that goes alongside it is I watch Raith Rovers kind of dripping into their veins, and I like to see how long it takes for people to fully embrace and feel part of the place and connect to the fact that we're something bigger than the sum of our parts. You seem to get there particularly quickly.
Yeah, I'm kind of like that as a person. In fairness, I throw myself in to anything that I'm doing. It's probably my biggest strength and maybe my biggest weakness as well. But yeah, I know we're fully immersed. You know, we're part of the family now. Any of the newcomers that did sort of arrive at the club on the 1st of May, so I'm here all the time. I'm probably here more than I am at home anyway, my wife will tell you. So it's good. There's a real energy about the place. You guys will feel it when you're coming around here on you know, Monday to Friday. It's a strong collective, and we're all pulling the same direction now.
Let's look at some of the questions that I've got that specifically relate to your role, and then we'll kind of look at the kind of wider club stewardship, if you like. Club 1883 was probably the last time we were on camera, certainly. I mean, we're in communication all the time. Give us a wee bit of an update, I guess, about the foundations of that, the uptake, the energy that's behind it, because there are things that are now getting delivered that we've seen this script before, but we said we'd get statistical updates and one arrives and it's, oh, that's actually really in-depth, that's actually really insightful. You'll get told about signings. Well, here's a wee bit of hush news for you folks first. Tell us about where it's standing. I guess it's your aspiration for it to be bigger, bolder, stronger.
Absolutely, we want to keep growing it. It's like everything else, every other facet of the club. We want to continue to grow, and as we spoke about, with a great early start, but it is just that, it's a start. We want to continue, we want double the membership we've got at some stage, whether that be a year's time, 3 years' time, whatever that may look like. We want to continue to grow, but I think we get there by doing what we said we were going to do. And as you touched on there, we've done that. I think it's been very well received. I know all the numbers, but when I see that newsletter coming out, I get excited, and I already know it. I deal with the numbers every day, so it's good. I think people are really buying into what we said we would do, and we want to grow that. We want the offering to get better. We're always looking at things. I'm just off a call about an hour ago when we were talking about adding something else into the package. The gifts, the welcome gifts, the starter gifts are about to get posted out next week. So all these things, again, it's just continue to grow and just helping people feel as if they belong to, not just the club, but the Club 1883 as well.
Brilliant. Talk to me about the kind of commercial journey that you've been on. We've seen the statistical uptick in that. I think the November update was saying a kind of 43% increase in revenue and so forth. What's it been like re-engaging with the local business community? Did you experience that there was work to be done to get people back on side, or actually was there a willingness to come back and get behind Raith Rovers?
Oh no, certainly there was work to be done. I think that's fair to say. I don't think anyone would shy away from that. We hope that many of the bridges have been mended, but some won't, and some will have fallen off. That's okay. We'll work doubly as hard to get the ones back as well. But no, we've made remarkable strides in terms of commercial. We still want to get better. We still don't think we're anywhere near where we should be in terms of retention. Appealing to new sponsors and things like that. Every part of it, we want to get better. We're trying to get better, and we'll continue to do that. But it's been a great start, and it shows in the numbers. Fans will no doubt get to see that in terms of accounts and stuff. But early indications, what we're looking at, it absolutely shows in it, and it's really pleasing. It's sort of gives you that sort of energy to say, that's why we do it. There it's there in black and white. And
all at the most difficult time financially for large business, small business, local business, and individuals.
Absolutely, it's not an easy climate to go and seek sponsorship. Everyone will tell you, that football or otherwise, it's times are hard. I'm a business owner myself, and times are hard. It's not an easy economic climate. So we're very, very grateful of those that's remained, and also the ones that have come on board and been part of it. But I also think we're giving good value as well. I have to say that. I think we're showing that some of the new things that we've tried to do this season so far, that we're trying to give people some bang for their buck. Hospitality's got its swagger back as well. I notice that the captain's lounge is just as busy as the suites upstairs. Yeah, we're pretty much sold out for the remainder of the season now, which you would expect. Obviously, people want to see a winning team, so that obviously helps. But yeah, I think again we're improving the service. We want to do more. We want new lounges. We want bigger capacities. All of these things are still very much a work in progress. But as I've tempered before, it takes time. Merchandising, the biggest problem seems to be sold out signs. Yes, it's hard to keep up, which is a great problem to have. Again, it just shows the fans are so engaged with what we're doing as a club right now, and that's transcending to retail, everything like that. It's great, and we want to again keep continuing that. We want a new shop. We want to upgrade the shop that we've got. All these things will just continue to help and give people a better experience when they're coming to the games. Rory and his team are working hard on the new website, getting closer to completion. Yeah, I feel like I've said that a few times now, but absolutely, and I think it will be worth the wait. There's no doubt about it. I've used the phrase a game changer. It really is a game changer as we work towards that end goal. You can see it now. You can see more of it. Parts are being finalised, and we're not too far away. But yeah, that will stand the club in good stead for many years to come. It's very, very impressive.
the infrastructure that was focused on primarily at the beginning, other than things that needed to be done for safety certificates and all of this, was player-related infrastructure. We spoke at length about that. People have seen around the changing rooms, and the players consistently tell us how that makes them feel valued. Can you tell us a wee bit about some of the other big infrastructure projects of things like the Clad and the sports bar, the things that you were honest enough when you came, maybe the first time we chatted, to say, look, we've got to be realistic, it's not a bottomless pit, some things are going to be at arm's length, but are these still working through the system? Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, a good example of that is replacing the broken seats. An order's been placed. There's a lead time that comes with these things, but all these seats, all these 600 and whatever it was, 36 seats that I spoke about previously, will be replaced before the end of the season. So that for me, it's been a real bee in my bonnet. I think when I'm sat in the main stand on a Saturday and I look across and I see that south stand, you know, the fans getting closer and closer to the bottom rows that are broken. So it's been annoying me. So thankfully that order is now been processed and we're just waiting and I'm being delivered now. So that's a good example of thing that's people maybe don't see, but it's a work in progress. It's a hefty investment, let me tell you. It's not cheap. So things like that. There's plans in place for other parts of the ground. Obviously the railway, I think, is probably the most prominent in fans' hearts. They would like to see that back, and again, there's been several different plans, and we're moulding them, we're shaping them, we're changing them, we're looking at I've got some plans to visit other clubs south of the border that have got sort of similar situations and similar concepts that we're looking to develop. So it's all ongoing, we're not standing still. I appreciate that fans maybe can't see these things, but believe me, it's a real passion for us to deliver these.
Within the talk about seats, a couple of points that kind of tie into that. Is safe standing going to be anywhere in their features? Anywhere in our thoughts?
We would like to. Yeah, I think that's the sort of the road we would like to go down. I think it's a modern way, isn't it? Fans enjoy that experience. So yeah, that will certainly be part of anything we're looking to do.
The support behind the goals. Questionnaires have gone out. Where would you like to be sat? Where would you like the singing section to be, and so forth? Any update there?
Yeah, again, obviously, we've sort of sought the opinion of fans, because I think that's important to do. You know, it's okay us assuming things, but I think it's important to gauge our thoughts and feelings of others. And to be fair, it's matched what we thought they would say, which is great. So there'll be a kind of trial of that going out soon for the Airdrie game, and we'll see where we go from that. But it's difficult mid-season. There's complexities that come with that, but we'll make sure that everyone is satisfied with the arrangements we put in place, and that's maybe not the ones that are going to be sat there, but we'll make sure that everyone feels as if they've been part of that decision-making process.
Broken seats only really matter when they're going to be required for backsides, and I'd like to kind of have a wee bit of chat about the crowd numbers, about the swell of support, because I wonder, and we've not spoken about this, so a wee leap of faith here, I wondered that you had a kind of break-even number in your mind. A lot of talk about 3,000, we reached that as a point. Was that something where you thought that's going to financially cover our bases, or actually that's step one in our aspiration? Was there also a wee bit there of, we need to test it to see if Kirkcaldy wants this as much as we do?
Yeah, I mean, it probably is phase one. I think it's fair to say we had to stabilise the club first and foremost. Before you can grow something, you have to make sure the foundations are strong, and I think that's where we were as a business. You know, taking away performances on the pitch, I think first and foremost we had to get the business functioning properly, efficiently, if I want better words. And I think we've done that, and I think the numbers of fans that are coming through the gates have helped achieve that. As I say, accounts and stuff will come further down the line, but the sort of early indications are that we're well above what we thought we were going to be. So it's great, and it's testament to the fans and the support they've shown us. We couldn't achieve those numbers without them backing us.
I'm assuming there was a kind of sigh of joy, maybe more than relief, when you put that rallying call out and Kirkcaldy and local environment turn up in the numbers, because coming in with all the aspirations, how things have been if we got off to that terrible start, or if the supporters said, you know what, we've sung this song before, we're not ready for it again.
Yeah, Yeah, no, absolutely. It's a fair point, because I think it's fair to say that, you know, that could have happened. I think it's been labelled in the past. But yeah, we've got to tell the story, but we need people to believe in it. And, you know, I think again that's been a huge success of, you know, what comes first? Is it the good results on the pitch, or is it the backing from the terraces? I like to think it's the other way around. You know, people talk about yeah, we're winning games, but I think it's come from the fans and the support. We were getting that support before a ball was kicked. You know, fans were buying replica, they were buying season tickets. The players seen that, the players bought into that, they fed off of that. It energised them, it energised us as custodians of the club, and, you know, all together, I think everyone just sort of got together and thought, you know what, there's something that we can get behind here, and you know, we'll continue to build on that.
We have certainly spoke, certainly informally, with players, and maybe mentioned it a wee bit with Lewis Vaughan when we broke the news, the interview about his extended contract, that it seems to be long overdue that Kirkcaldy, I guess, but Raith Rovers in particular, find their confidence, and I wonder, looking at our away support, it's more boisterous, it's more vocal, it's more energised, that maybe our home support is still going through that kind of learning process.
Yeah, no, listen, and what I would say, it's okay to believe, it's okay to be disappointed. You know, no one likes dropping points or getting beat, and but you sometimes have to put yourself out there. You know, if we're going to change this and we're going to change the fortunes, we're going to get to where we're going to do, we have to put ourselves out there, and we might come up short, you know, we might get beat, but that doesn't mean to say we can't still enjoy the process, and we'll all be disappointed together. The same token, we'll all win together, and we'll all celebrate together. So it's okay to believe, it's also okay to be disappointed. Lewis said that, I think, in his interview, and, you know, it's a good thing that, you know, players, staff, fans are going away after a defeat or a draw and being disappointed. I like that, that's good, because I guarantee there's been times in the past, you know, we've maybe got beat or drawn a game, and, you know, fans have went out and said, unlucky today, and it's not really mattered. I think now it matters, because there's such high stakes, and we're at a stage of the season where people can feel something really important is not too far away. So, you know, get behind us, be noisy, come here like you have been, put yourself out there, put your feelings on the line for us, and really back the team, and it'll take some stopping. If we all do that, then it'll take some stopping.
I mean, you lead nicely on to one of the topics I wanted to pick up was about our confidence. I mentioned earlier the word swagger. I'm going to probably stand by that, because it seems that this season we've found the importance of grabbing every moment's joy that's there, celebrating it, kicking the backside out of it, and not actually worrying about tomorrow, because we need to celebrate today. Dundee United was maybe a good example of that, because any Raith Rovers fan would tell you that we came away knowing that nothing had been resolved. We came away for that game knowing that we had refound our confidence in our place towards the top of the championship and started peering over the wall to what was next. I think you now exchanged some message and said it was actually quite an emotional process that day. Nothing was decided, no. But is that really important that we face up to the fact that being Rover supporters, investors, directors, whatever, it's something that's supposed to bring us joy?
That's what we're here for. We're supposed to enjoy it. You know, sometimes it's hard to remember that, and I'm guilty of that myself. When you're here and working so hard every day, we've got to enjoy it. Why can't you enjoy a victory? I've come under a bit of stick. I put a post on my own personal Twitter saying about this is a movement, not a run of form. It absolutely is, and I'll take the stick from it. You know, I don't mind Dundee United fans on Saturday night, you know, reminding me of that tweet, because I stand by it. It was true. It was nothing to do with winning a game of football that day. It was to do with 2,000 people making their way up to Dundee just before Christmas and supporting their team, because they believed that day we were going to go to Tannadice and put on a good show, and we did it. So we'll continue to do that, and we'll continue to back ourselves, and we're a different animal now, I would say. Raith Rovers Football Club, we're a different animal, and we'll continue to come out swinging, we'll continue to fight, and there's 15 games in the league left to go, obviously cup games. We hope there's a few more of them as well, but we'll come out swinging in every one of the games, and I would just ask that the fans do that as well, and let's see where that takes us.
I buy in completely, as you know. I've got no doubt that there are moments of commentary that are bookmarked by supporters all over the country who'll bring it up and say, what about? But I love this notion that we're a different animal. We, as Raith Rovers supporters, have actually looked over and peered on what oblivion could look like. So to look down at that movement, as you say it, best part of 2000 there up at Tannadice, most of whom we'll have some connection with because we've walked the same streets for all, if not most of our lives. Go big, go bold. Was that something that was written on a notepad somewhere from day one?
It's who we are. It's who we are as people. I think it's fair to say every one of us that are on that board of directors, it's how we live our life. What's the point? We didn't come here to be the same as everyone else. And yeah, at times that'll come back to bite us and, we'll be left with a bit of egg in our face, but we'll stand by it and we'll continue. We'll get up the next day and we'll go again, and that's who we are. And that's who we are as a club. People have talked about Ian's management style. I think he represents that as well. I think that's why he's such a good fit for us, because he's like that as well, and he's bold and he's brave, and that's who we are.
I would suggest 2 at the back tells us all we need to know about that.
Absolutely.
The trajectory is primarily been upwards. We're licking our wounds a wee bit, but maybe in guys like me, it takes till midweek where you can look at the league table and think, we're still sitting top. We're 15 points off in a kind of comfort zone with the playoffs. Nothing's decided, but how do you navigate this first bump in the road?
Yeah, I think we've got to embrace it. I think we've got to, sounds a bit silly, but enjoy it. I think enjoy that, the pressure that comes with the expectancy. We've earned it. The fans been expectant of us winning games at home against Queen's Park. We've earned the right for that. So enjoy it. Strap yourself in and enjoy the next 15 games, because there's going to be more bumps, and we just need everyone to stick together when the bumps come, and just, as I say, come out the other end of that still swinging and still fighting.
Media interest in the clubs at a level I've certainly not experienced in the kind of 16, 17 years that I've done this role. Probably you're going back to the 94 squad when that's as close a boardroom's had as maybe having to put in a revolving door at the press gate, but yous are selling something that the wider footballing community are interested in.
Yeah, and I think what's the main trait that 94 team had? They had a swagger. They were mavericks. It's similar to what we spoke about that actually when we made the pitch to get involved in the club. That was part of it, bringing back that spirit of this era, and Jimmy Nichols and all that. They were mavericks. They had a swagger about them that was endearing to not only Raith Rovers supporters but probably the wider footballing fraternity. So that's what we set out to create, and I think we've made a good start.
Strikes me that kind of depth of understanding of the historical context of the club obviously helped with things like the Hall of Fame, the fantastic work with our Former Players Association, and of course just day-to-day interactions with supporters. You're rooted in the game, but I guess you see it differently from this role to the playing one, because you have to be a wee bit more maverick, as you say, moving round the game. But what Raith Rovers mean to the community, has that at any point surprised you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I've gone on record that just it still amazes me, just to see continually turning up on a Saturday. As I say, that south stand when the fans are moving towards the broken seats, it's worrying, but it really is exciting as well, because it shows just the love and the support that's out there, and I'll continue to be amazed by it. I think it just keeps growing and growing, and you launch a new product in the shop and it sells out. You launch another one that sells out. These are just things that just continue to amaze when you go, oh, maybe this might not do so well, but it does. And you do an event and it goes really well. You launch Club 1883 and it goes really well. Everything that just I'm amazed by it. We all are. We're really grateful, but yeah, it is. It doesn't become any less surprising as we move through.
Are there any little moments that give you a smile as you're driving in that lengthy commute that you've got, where you think, I'm on record as saying little things like mascots at 2, 3, 4, 5 getting so excited at a shot at the commentary headset, or the chance to play with a camera, and it just makes you feel more connected to something bigger. What are the little things that you hold on to? Yeah,
absolutely. I think sometimes driving away from games, I was driving out of Dundee and I had a tear in my eye when we beat Dundee United at Tannadice. I did, because it means so much to you, and see what it means to the other, the supporters and the other people around the club and the players and the staff, that you're working you see the work they put in every day, and to see them achieve results like that, it does. So there's always little poignant moments when you have that little sort of downtime and a chance to sit still, and it's great. There's been many moments like that already this season. Maybe the disappointment, because we're all disappointed as well on a Saturday night if it doesn't go well. They've been far outweighed by the good moments. So hopefully there's many more to come between now and the end of the season.
The first team's undergone almost a complete rebuild, really. Talk to me a wee bit about how things have evolved in that front. Do you feel that we're where you wanted to be? Are we in advance of what your expectations might have been? I mean, I was looking across some squads that we enjoyed watching recently, and then it just dawns on me that our loan players just now, we've got the likes of Sean Byrne and we've got Kyle coming in, are of a standard that maybe we wouldn't have expected a few years ago. Yeah,
I mean, I think it's fair to say they were arguably two of the best players in this division last season. I think, again, it's become an attractive place for players to be. Kyle Turner's obviously our latest signing. He's a great example. Kyle had, numerous opportunities to go to other teams, some in a higher division. And he wanted to come to Raith Rovers. So that says everything about where we are right now. In terms of where we are as a squad, I think we are probably a bit ahead of schedule, but we wanted to build a squad that was going to be competitive towards the top end of the league. We've done that. Okay, you could say it's maybe went a bit quicker and a bit ahead of plan, but we're here and we want to keep getting better. We want that squad to get better. The squad themselves want to get better, which is more important. You hear their disappointment in post-match interviews and other things. You see them, they're disappointed when they don't win games that they're maybe expected to win. So it's great. We're all pulling in the same direction. I'll continue to say it. I see the work that goes on day to day by the players and the staff. It's a really, really high level. That will stand you in good stead over the course of a season, and it has done. The proof is in the pudding. We can see the results of that hard work.
How do you balance the constant need of the footballing machine to give us another player, a different player, this position, that positions, with the reality of holding on to the purse strings? Yeah,
of course, it's a balancing act, and that sort of falls on probably my shoulders more than any. But again, we're ambitious, we're bold, we're brave, and we'll continue to do that. We'll continue to try and make this club, this team better. Within reason, every decision will be made in the best interest of the club, longer term, but we're always very active. Not just, okay, we're in a transfer window right now, but we're looking at the next transfer window beyond this one. You have to, if you want to be a modern forthright club, you have to do these things. So we're doing that at the minute, and we'll continually look to add good players and complement what we've got here already.
I hear kind of two sets of footballing world shouting at me at this point to say, the detractors will say it's the Fife Gretna, we've seen this script before. The more balanced will say, well, you know what, it's about working within a budget, getting better value and being forward looking. Are you happy where we sit with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I laugh at times when I see some of the comments, okay, you're going to get it from fans. I think it's a bit of sort of tribal banter, if you want, but when I see others in the game talk about it, and I'm just amazed that they know what's happening within our bank accounts. It's nonsense. My job would be a lot easier if these things were true, believe me. There'd be a lot less sort of wrestling with figures and trying to make things work. So we couldn't be further from the truth. People won't believe that because they don't want to believe it, but we've made some smart decisions, I think, that have turned out to be the right decisions. We've got a couple wrong as well, of course. That's fair. We'll accept that, and we'll move on to the next one. But no, it's a compliment, I would say, because I think people look for the lazy reason why things have gone so well.
It strikes me, knowing your character to a degree, that you won't shirk this and you won't wrestle with it, you'll probably embrace it, is that you're in a position here ahead of schedule where there's an element of sticker twist. Yep. Because the Premier League's not the promised land, but it's a place we want to be. It's where we want to play our football. How are you working that through personally, professionally?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think you know, we would all love to go and make 10 signings a window. It's an exciting part of the job. It's an exciting part of being involved or supporting a football club. But as I say, every decision we've made with the best interest of the club. We'll always stand by that. That's our mantra, and I think I always say that to all the staff. As long as every decision we're making is with the best interest, then it'll be the right decision. But again, we're ambitious. I'll use the words again, bold, we're brave, so we're certainly active, and if it's right for the club at the time, then we'll do it. If it's not, then we won't.
Just to kind of take a step to the side, a lot of talk in the game about artificial surfaces. You know, we've been here since the beginning. We followed the investment that was made. We made a video of it going down and spoke with the people that are seen as being at the top of the kind of industry that have laid that surface. Not a single complaint from our players, opposition players, but they're under scrutiny. Where are we placed with that? What's the conversations like in terms of if the surface was to be removed?
Yeah, I mean, there is discussion. You're right, there is discussions at different levels of the game about it. You know, some are making their way to the mainstream media, but there is discussions. I wouldn't shy away from that. You know, we'll react and we'll do, again, what we need to do in terms of the club to keep moving forward and keep us compliant in how and what we need to be at that precise moment in time.
We'll follow that story. I mean, I think that's fair. That it was just to kind of, I guess, gauge that we've got an eye on it. Because the other thing that goes alongside that question is we can hear the shrieks of joy coming through the studio kind of window there of kids right now from our community enjoying football.
Yeah, we know the importance of that pitch. You know, forget the first team, forget what happens at 3 o'clock on a Saturday. We know the importance of that pitch for the wider community. So we're aware of that. But again, we'll be somewhat governed and led by what the powers that be say. So we'll react to that, and again, we'll do what's best for everyone, not just what's best for the first team.
Let's talk about, I guess, first steps into the next chapter. In terms of the playing staff, you are always kind of rolling the dice in about 3 different games at the same time. You know, do we stay in this league? Do we get promoted? Do we do this? Do we do that? Do we develop? So I guess it's interview by interview. We'll come towards that. But what's the next big ticket item on your to-do list?
Yeah, I think the facilities. I think here at Stars Park we want to improve what we've got here. You know, obviously it's touched on the railways is sort of the big blue chip one that we're sort of looking towards. I think that would be a really important step for the club. There's areas of the main stand that still need to be refurbed and reworked. So it's a continuous. It'll continue to move forward. We again won't stand still. We want to sit in that main stand on a match day and be proud of what we're looking at. And I don't mean what's on the pitch. I mean what we're surrounded by in terms of facilities. So we will continue to move forward. We speak about developing some part of the club every single day, and that's not me just saying that on camera. That is the truth. We speak about developing this place every single day, so we'll continue to do that. There's good people, knowledgeable people with a skill set and experience to put that into action as well, not just talk about it. And you know, we'll get to that point and the fans will see that in due course.
The shipping container with the gifts are on the way for Club 1883 as one of the cars driving past gives us the toot of the horn. Away jerseys, are they on the way, and any link in with a delivery to or from Las Palmas?
Yeah, I mean they'll be arriving any day now. There was a delay over the festive period. We'd hoped to have them in just at the back end of Christmas. There was a delay at that. At this time of year it's hard. You know, production are allowed a Christmas holiday as well, so it's always a difficult period to navigate. So they'll be arriving any day. In terms of Las Palmas, again, we're still working. There's been more conversation in the last week as well, so we're still working towards that. We're looking at dates. We're in conversation with the SPFL to see how it works from our side, to see how it works from their side. So conversations continue, and fingers crossed. So
just like other aspects, we'll explore every possible opportunity till we can go no further, and at that point you'll get a firm and strong update of fact.
Absolutely, yeah. If it's not going to happen, we'll tell fans it's not going to happen, because you know, even myself, we're looking at holidays for next year, or the wife's looking at holidays and we're trying to arrange dates, and I'm saying, well, maybe not. There might be a trip already planned in within the date. So I appreciate fans will be doing exactly the same. So as soon as we can give an update either way, then we absolutely will do.
I was just kind of thinking about scribbling some notes down, and I think I always like to try and ask some questions that maybe aren't out there in the public. So for me, it's probably a bit lazy to say to go and talk about the brilliant piece that was done when Ian Murray re-signed. You've spoke about that at length, but one of the things that I did kind of scribble down when I was wondering what your high points might be is we're finally beating that Inverness hoodoo. I would have been happier writing that down than Las Palmas and acting. What's been your personal on the pitch high point?
There's been so many, to be honest. There is. It'd be hard to sort of put. I think Tannadice, I think Dundee United was a really important one for us. Again, not because we won that day. I would like to think that I would still sit here and speak so fondly of that day, even if we hadn't won. I think it was just so important, such an important landmark for the club in terms of the travelling support. The seats on the day that we were sat in was directly the full length of the pitch away. It gave us a great vantage point of just seeing it. It was there constantly when you were watching the game, and the noise was just sort of travelling all the way down the length of that pitch. So that would probably, if I had to pick one, I would say that day was probably a highlight. But there's been so many. Inverness, obviously the two Inverness games for obvious reasons, and putting sort of that hoodoo to rest. We maybe over celebrated a little bit up there. We got our knuckles wrapped, but I'll take that all day. It's who we are. We're passionate, and we won't shy away from that.
As you say, I mean, we were as RaithTV, we were brilliantly hosted by Dundee United, and we actually had better seats because we were in a kind of almost like a crow's nest looking down. And to look down to 2,000 people who've travelled up for your town, one of the things I have to give up is not sitting with my family, but when you see the wee speck that's them waving at you and you think, this has been a long time coming. Yeah. I'm sure that people with a wider love of football, maybe I'll give us a wee bit of leniency to when we are bolder and bigger than maybe people are keen to see.
Yeah, and I think we did get that. I think social media can be a not so nice place at times, but I think you've seen, just out with our own support, I think you've seen the sort of appreciation of what that meant to us on the day. So yeah, I think we're getting some stick that comes with what we're doing, but we're also getting a little nod of appreciation, I would say.
Over to you, Andy. We'd thought about maybe. We never script things, but I'll send you some notes the night before, and then life takes over. And I got the text that I always like to reference on camera, actually, because it just says, "Let's just speak for the heart. You turn up, you do your thing, I'll do my thing." And you know that we enjoy speaking with you on camera. What have we not covered? We've got that positivity of message. It's who we are anyway. What else can we convey to the people who are at times a bit disappointed? To the people who are not quite coming back on a regular basis, funds are obviously the key to that. How do we embolden Rover supporters even further?
Yeah, just get behind. Enjoy the moment we're in. It doesn't get much better than being a Raith Rovers supporter right now. Where we are poised in the league with 15 games to go. It's a really you should be really appreciative of being in this situation as a Raith Rovers supporter. I include myself in that. Got to enjoy it. Enjoy the nervousness, enjoy the trepidation. Enjoy that feeling of, what if we get beat, or what if we come short. It's great. And again, whatever will happen this season will happen. There'll be lots of twists and turns. When it's not going so well, stick with us, stick with Ian, stick with the players, because they deserve it. I think where we've got to so far, they deserve all of our backing, and bring the noise. It's okay to be disappointed. It's okay to be nervous, but just embrace that, and use that energy to get behind the players, and as I say, everyone at the club. We're all up for the fight. Join that fight with us, and as I said many times, that's a pretty formidable force. If we can all pull together and come out swinging and fighting, then it'll take some stopping.
That perpetual motion's clearly seen in the fact that, Lewis mentioned it as we sit in that seat, is, I'm signing on because I love the club, I feel attached to the club, I've got personal relationships with the people, but I need the next stage of my career to be about advancement. Sam Stanton doesn't re-sign at a club that's happy to stay still. Sean Byrne doesn't go and say, leave me there because he's going to pick up a pay at the edge of the month or whatever it might be. That shows that the players have bought in, the board's clearly bought in, and the numbers, bums and seats and pies in hand and folks singing the song, says that formidable force. Is that going to be the club motto?
Yeah, absolutely it is. Again, it's who we are. That doesn't mean to say we're going to win every week. We can still be a formidable force and suffer disappointment, but we suffer it together, and we'll celebrate the wins together, but we'll group around everyone, and we'll deal with the disappointments if and when they come, because invariably they will. It's life, it's football, and enjoy it and embrace it.
I think that you look forward to your work as much as I look forward to Saturday. I'm still a kid at heart, and a football ground does that to you, doesn't it? But I can only speak about this one. It is and can be quite a special place.
It is, yes. Okay, the match day sort of takes care of itself. That's when everyone kind of joins together. But this is a special place on a Tuesday morning as well. There's a real energy, there's a real vibrancy about this. It wasn't here in May, it wasn't, and I'll say that openly. It's here now, and it's people that are coming in, outsiders, are noticing that. They can see it, it's tangible, and let's just keep growing it, keep feeding off it. We're all buckled in and we're on side, so let's see what comes next. Absolutely. Cheers, Andy.